So this journey through the centuries continues. Today I'm gonna visit Roman military campground Bigeste near Ljubuški in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was established by Emperor Tiberius in the 1st century, and he brought his Roman 7th Veterans Legion to defend the road from the ancient capital city of Dalmatia, Salona, to the newly conquered Greek trading post of Narona. The Illyrian tribe Dalmatia were defeated at this point after the Third Illyrian War, but Romans were still afraid of another possible uprising.
Soldiers could have passed through this opening, so this was probably a door entrance to some room. If that's the case, then these walls are probably at least half a meter or maybe even another meter deep underground.
Oh, I hope next time when I come back this museum is gonna be open. They're gonna bring all the artifacts found on these locations, currently stored in other museums. Now I'm going to a museum which is just across the border in Croatia. This is a short drive to village Saint Vid that was built on the site of ancient Narona.
Information that Narona was in fact a Greek market town can be found in the Greek writers. That the best irises grew on the banks of the Neretva tends to suggest that the Greek and later Roman perfumers purchased this valuable ingredient here.
So this is interesting conical sundial. The metal rod in the middle is missing, but it would typically show time by its shadows. And this sundial was designed for specific latitude, so this Narona clock would not show the right time in Rome or other parts of the empire.
A Baldenheim type of helmet. It was probably made in local workshops in the 6th century and belongs to the period of the Ostrogoth rule in Dalmatia. They were worn by the chieftains of the Germanic tribes, the Goths, Gepids, Alamans, and Burgundians. Roman knight, riding on horseback, chasing a woman and child, holding on to its mother's skirts. From the look of the hair, the woman must have been a barbarian. Such an appearance cannot be ascribed to Roman ladies, who took great care of their appearance. This monument symbolically represents the dominance of Roman over barbarian, probably Germanic culture, which was in retreat to the north.
This is a relief of dancers found on site from the 2nd century before Christ. This tells me that ancient people had a sophisticated sense of beauty and art.
The Romans were an extremely religious people. In the sequel, relief depictions of Roman gods and the animals dedicated to them can be seen, like the snake, for example, the symbol of the god Aesculapius. Then the altars mentioning individual gods can be seen, such as Fortuna or Jupiter. All of this showing the piety of the inhabitants of Narona. Fortuna, for example, the goddess of luck, was very important in a trading city like Narona, and Jupiter was Optimus Maximus, the supreme deity, revered the length and breadth of the Roman Empire. Bust of Isis, Egyptian fertility goddess, made of alabaster, which is found in Egypt and Italy. Since it shows an Egyptian deity, it is probably of Egyptian origin. The bust, it is thought, was probably used in some household shrine. It is interesting in terms of color and iconography, in that the point on the forehead held a visage that was probably made of bronze or some other dark material. This additionally brought out the milky white of the alabaster.
This is the main exhibit room in the museum. Most of the statues are from Julian Claudian dynasty family tree. The statue in the center is Emperor Augustus, the most successful Caesar, military leader in the history of Roman Empire. The statue to his left is Emperor Tiberius, his stepson. The statue of Emperor Caligula is missing, but fourth Roman emperor with a cloak around his body is Emperor Claudius.
This temple functioned from more or less the end of the 1st century BC to the beginning of the 5th century AD. The first Roman emperor, Augustus, the most important figure here. He was the founder of the first Roman dynasty, the Julio-Claudian. Here he is presented as the biggest statue, in military armor. He was probably leaning on a spear. It is unfortunately preserved only in fragments, but without a doubt the size, iconography, and workmanship say it is the Emperor Augustus. The head actually represents Germanicus. He should have been the 3rd Roman emperor in the line. He was named heir by Emperor Augustus, but Germanicus did not live to enjoy his status, being poisoned. He had previously married Agrippina the Elder, shown in Statue 2, and so it was expected that the Julio-Claudian dynasty would be prolonged. This, then, is the most numerous group of 16 sculptures of the imperial family ever found in the area of what was the Roman Empire.
This was probably the most impressive museum I ever visited, but the nature around this village, around ancient city of Narona, is equally impressive.
There's really nice view from up here, on this hill above the museum. I couldn't pass on this opportunity and this punishment.
This statue is of Duke of Croatia with his soldiers in a boat. He fought against Venice and Arab pirates in the 9th century for control of the Adriatic Sea.
So this is valley of river Neretva, just before it Neretva river goes into the sea. I think that's over there in that direction. I have a feeling I could spend days here. Days and days exploring. My gosh, how beautiful it is. It's noon.
After exploring beautiful nature around the ancient city of Narona, my next destination is Salona.
These are remains of ancient city of Salona. So the city was destroyed in 7th century by Avars and Slav tribes. These are remains of the church that was built here later, obviously. These are such a huge stone sarcophags, chests where people got buried, and still most of them are looted. This place is so important that I think it should be covered.
Salona, being a headquarters city of Roman province of Dalmatia, is also a birthplace of Emperor Diocletian. He is most known for persecuting early Christians.
Diocletian, actually, when he retired, he built a palace in Split, which is definitely a must-see. So another interesting fact that Saint Domnio was executed here in 304 AD. He's actually originally from Syria. He was from Antioch in Syria, and he came here in Salona to convert people to Christianity, but he was executed in 304 AD. By order of the governor of the province, Marcus Aurelius Julius. He was buried here, but his basilica was moved in the 7th century when Salona was destroyed. Still functional. ancient city of Salona.
So this city, like most of the other cities in Dalmatia, was established by Greeks in the 3rd century before Christ. Then Illyrian tribe Dalmatia took over the control of the city, and finally Romans came in the 78 BC. When they came, they built theater, amphitheater, public baths, roads, and later church buildings in the 4th and the 5th century. This was an important city, situated in a strategic location near a river and the Adriatic Sea. Over 50,000 people lived in Salona at some point, and Romans controlled the whole province of Dalmatia from here.
Guys, if you ever get an opportunity to visit this place, Salona near Split, you're not gonna be disappointed. And here is the amphitheater. Originally it was built outside city walls, but eventually it was fortified. And it was built in the 2nd century, and 17,000 spectators could attend spectacles, fights, gladiator fights. But I suppose this was the main entrance to this amphitheater. 17,000 people. The basic materials: stones and cement, Roman cement, which, by the way, we can't replicate. Now in our modern cement we have to add rebar and metal for reinforcement, but ancient Romans had technique that didn't require reinforcement, and we still haven't figured it out how they did that. I can stop thinking about the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe. So this concludes the video for today. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you didn't. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like this content, please let me know below in the comments, so I can make more videos for you guys like this. Well, that's it for today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.